sure if the official time anyway.
Oh, up there, start time, and then it's an hour and 45 afterward. Good morning to you, baseball fans. This is your broadcaster, Ryan Vanveen, coming to you live from beautiful Lisle, Ontario, Canada. We are in Game 2 of today's Consolation Round Finals. We are about to see the Nobleton Cornhuskers take the field against the Kincardine Cubs. It's Game 2, as I had previously mentioned, of the day. Just a few hours ago, Lisle took down the Creemore Braves, the Lisle Astros, that is, by a score of 13-0. So they are officially into the Consolation Final rounds with a bye-in, and they will be playing the winners of a dual game. This is the first of two to decide who Lisle will play in the finals. In the second game, following this afternoon's contest, it will be the Bolton Brewers taking on the Angus Black Sox. So stick around, we are just minutes away from game time. Good morning, Lisle, Ontario. It's time for Game 2 of the day between the Nobleton Cornhuskers and the Kincardine Cubs. Pitching for Nobleton is the left-hander, Steve Traverse. Leading off the game, the center fielder for Kincardine, number 5, Curtis Cobian, number 5. First pitch in from Scott Traverse, the left-hander, at 9:56 a.m. As we mentioned at the start of this broadcast, this is game number 2 of the day. Traverse from the windup, and the pitch gets underneath that one. There's a shallow fly to left center, and it settles into the glove of the shortstop for the first out of the ball game. The left fielder, number 27, Kurt Inglis, number 27. So Cobian retired on just 2 pitches, and Kurt Inglis, the left fielder, is due up at the plate. Left-hander stands in against the left-hander Traverse. The wind-up and the pitch delivered. Strike called. Count is 0-1. Traverse back into the set position now as Inglis stands ready at the plate, and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball just up the middle into center field for a base hit. So Kurt Inglis gets the game started with a base hit. The designated hitter, number 45, Scott Austin, number 45. So runner on first now with a 1 away for Kincardine, and that will bring up the designated hitter, Scott Austin. Batting from the right side now. Traverse in the set position, looks over at the runner at first. And here's the pitch. Swung on and just lined foul down the left field line. Kincardine yesterday, if you're wondering how today's events took place, they faced the New Lowell Knights and took it down to the wire in yesterday's game, just finishing a run short to New Lowell. Traverse from the set and the delivery. And that one's lined down the left field line. That one is hooking fair ball into the corner. Inglis running third, and they are sending him home. The relay is just offline. And Scott Austin delivers the game's first run. The right fielder, number 7, John Campbell, number 7. Scott Austin just hooked that one fair down the left field foul line, and he delivers an RBI double. So Kincardine is up 1-0. And that brings up the right-handed hitting right fielder, John Campbell. Traverse back in the set position, checks the runner at second, and delivers. Ground ball, third. Easy stab of the ball, throw across diamond to first, and trouble at first, and they call him out on the relay. So Campbell called out. First baseman, number 17, Greg Stepaniak, number 17. And that brings up the first baseman, Greg Stepaniak. Today's base umpire, just out there beyond the pitcher. We'll get to him in just a second. So 2 away now here in the top half of the first. First pitch to Stepaniak is fouled away. Austin, the designated hitter who just doubled a few batters ago, is now standing on third with 2 out here in the top of the first. Traverse back into the set position, checks the runner on third, and here's the delivery. Ground ball, first base side, speared, and they will step on the bag at first to end the first inning. When we come back, the Kincardine Cubs will take the field against the Nobleton Cornhuskers. We will be right back here in Lisle, Ontario. We are back for the bottom half of the first inning, and as we see the first batter take the field,
Eric Jones.
Pitching for the Kincardine Cubs, the right-hander, number 2, Nate Kramer, number 2. Leading off for the Nobleton Cornhuskers, the designated hitter, number 24, Eric Jones. First pitch of the bottom half of the inning, delivered by Nate Kramer. Just missed for a ball. Oh. Count is now 0-1. Wind up from Kramer, and the delivery just in there. Count is now 1-1. For Nobleton, the Cornhuskers, they got into this game losing yesterday's match against the Clearview Orioles by a score of 10-1. Second pitch in there. Count is now 2-1. Eric Jones, designated hitter, leading off this inning. The left-handed batter taking the field against Nate Kramer. Excuse me. Score now, if you're just joining us, is 1-0 for Kincardine. Wind up from Kramer, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Count is now 2-2 on Jones. The wind up from Kramer again, and the 2-2 delivery. Low for ball 3. Full count now on Eric Jones. Kramer on the mound from the full windup, and here is the delivery. Pokes just past the pitcher. Play at first, his throw is wide over, and they will be ruling that. That just went over the fence, so Eric Jones, on an error to the third baseman, will be taking second base. Second baseman, number 8, Dan Reese. Number 8. So an error by the third baseman, Chris Inkster, gives Nobleton their first opportunity of the day. Nobody out and a runner already on second. Kramer now in the set position, looking in at the second baseman, Dan Reese. First pitch to Reese, swung on and missed for strike 1. On deck hitter, left-hander, is Stephen Scobie. Kramer checks the runner at second, and the delivery is just inside for ball 1. Kramer back on the mound again, took some time off there, checked himself out there. Back into the set, checks the runner at second base. Jones dancing off second, runner's trying to hold on, and here's the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2.
Over there, kid.
Reese has swung on and missed on 2 straight fastballs, high and tight. Jones, the runner at second base, taking his lead. Check the runner again, and here's the pitch. Fouled off, and Reese stays alive. Beautiful morning here in Lisle, Ontario. This is day 2 of their annual tournament. So far this morning, just for those of you who missed the first half of this broadcast, the Lisle Astros were victorious against the Creemore Barons. The winning pitcher in that game was Chris Allery, who pitched a complete game shutout victory. Kramer checks the runner at second again. 2-strike count is low. Count is even now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base on today, Tom Regenbaum just standing behind to the left of Kramer. Kramer checks back at second again. And the delivery. And just inside, and it hits Reese. So just like that, Nobleton has runners on first and second and nobody out. Third baseman, number 15, Steve Scobie, number 15. So that's 2 on now, and they're having a short mound conference just to settle the situation out there. First 2 runners have gone on via an error and a hit by pitch. And Stephen Scobie, the left-handed batting third baseman for Nobleton, is at the plate. Dave Robinson, the Kincardine catcher, just went out to the mound to have a word with his pitcher. Runners on first and second now for Nobleton, with nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Calls play back in, and here's the windup. Checks the runners back at second and first, and here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. There's a throw down to second. Jones had to hustle back in there as catcher Robinson, trying to hold the runner on, almost picked him off. Kramer doing a little mountain grooming. Didn't quite like where his foot was landing. That's how he likes it now. Checks the runner at second again. Here's the 0-1. Scobie lines a base hit through the left side, and that's going to bring in the tying run. Jones comes across as Steve Scobie delivers his first RBI of the game. First baseman, number 77, Lance McCormick, number 77. So Jones takes places at second base with Dan Reese, and Steve Scobie is now on first. So there's still none out for Nobleton here in the bottom of the first, and they have their first run of the game. And that will bring up the first baseman, Lance McCormick. Kramer checks Reese at second, and the pitch is grounded. And just through the legs of the shortstop, and they are waving home Reese. That is the second error of the inning for Kincardine, and the second Nobleton run. The center fielder, number 10, Ryan Fedrigo, number 10. Ryan Fedrigo, center fielder, up to bat now. That was a hard hit grounder that took a bad hop and just went between the legs of the shortstop, Jason Devos, for Kincardine. First pitch, and there goes the runner for third, and he slides in there safely under the tag. So a stolen base now for Steve Scobie, who goes from second to third on the first pitch. McCormick, the runner at first, having reached on error. So runners on the corner now, still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Kramer checking in to Robinson for the sign, now he has it. And here's the delivery. Then the dirt gets past the catcher, and Scobie will go into home standing up for the third run of Nobleton's inning. So far, 2 errors and a passed ball have helped contribute to 3 Nobleton runs. And there's still nobody out here in this half of the inning. Rodrigo now with a count 2-0 on him. McCormick on that last one moved up to second base. Here's a delivery from Kramer. That one fouled off to the right side. Count now 2-1. Kramer back on the rubber again, looking in for the sign. Now he has it. Comes set, and here's the 2-1. Driven out into the gap in left field. That ball's going to get down. McCormick will be held at third as there will be a play at second base, and safe call by the base ump Tom Regenbaum. So a double for Ryan Fedrigo. The left fielder, number 19, Mike LeClough. Number 19.
Get him, man.
Second and third now for the runners, with still no one out here, and that will bring up the left fielder, Mike LeClough.
It's called lizard skin.
Kramer now delivering from the full windup. First pitch blown by him, swinging strike 1. Kramer back on the rubber again, checks into Robinson, and the windup, and the delivery is hit to the shortstop. Play's going to first. There's the first out as yet another run scores. McCormick crossed the plate on that one.
Run, big guy, run. Fuck.
The shortstop, number 43, Chris Supa. Number 43.
How's it going, buddy?
So finally, the first out of the inning for Kincardine. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Chris Supa. Lance McCormick scored on that last play, so that's 4 runs in this half of the inning. First pitch to Supa is fouled away. Rodrigo now, the runner on third.
Let's go, Supa. Let's go.
Kramer still in from the full windup. Delivery, going for the plate. He's looking to steal home, and just underneath, and the no ball, and that is a steal of home for Ryan Rodrigo.
Got a boy.
The ump's calling it a ball, called strike because he didn't. It was a bunt attempt. Did not get the bat back in time. So that is a straight steal of home for Ryan Rodrigo. Count now 0-2. Pitch call the ball. Count is now 1-2 on Supa. Kramer finally has no men on base, but still only 1 out. They got 1. 1 out. Did they get 1 out? Correction, that is now the 5th run of the inning as Kramer winds and fires, and that one is lined into left field. Coming in hard is the left fielder, and that is for the second out. The right fielder, number 6, Rob Greer, number 6. They'll bring up the right fielder, Rob Greer. Great running catch there, made in left field by Kurt Inglis. So there's 2 down now here in the bottom half of the first as Kramer delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 2 away now for Nobleton as Greer, number 8 hitter, is at bat. Here's the 0-1. Call for a ball. 1-1 the count now. On deck hitter is the catcher, Justin Green Shields. Kramer, the 1-1. Ground ball, just staying fair down the left field line. Fielded by the third base, across the diamond for the final out of the inning. So that ends, mercifully, the final half of the inning for Kincardine, and we go to the second after a big inning from Nobleton. We're back here in Lisle, Ontario at Rosthouston Memorial Field for Game 2 and inning number 2 of this match between Nobleton and Kincardine. This, once again, is Ryan Vanveen, your broadcaster for the day, and also the third baseman for the Lisle Astros. Joining with me in the booth is our pitcher/outfielder and my scorekeeper for the day, Nathan Dix. Nicky, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for joining us today, and also for this entire weekend tournament. So far, to recap what's just happened, we are in the top half of the second inning. Score is 5-1 for the Nobleton Cornhuskers. They had a 5-run, 3-hit inning, and now the third baseman, number 8, Chris Inkster. Number 8. Chris Inkster takes the place in the batter's box, and he will watch a strike go by for the first pitch. Due up this inning are Inkster, catcher Dave Robinson, and the shortstop Jason Devos. And here's the second pitch, is low in the dirt, kicked away for the first ball. Traverse, the left-hander, still on the mound for Nobleton. Working from the set position, and here's the 1-1. There's a ground ball, third base side. Scobie fields it, fires to first, just over the reach of McCormick, and that will send the runner to second base on the error. So Nobleton has their first runner. Nope, scratch that. Kincardine has their first runner of the inning. The catcher, number 20, Dave Robinson. Number 20. So now, Kincardine has their first runner on base of the inning on an error to Stephen Scobie, the third baseman for Nobleton. That'll bring up Dave Robinson, the left-handed hitting catcher. Set, and here's the first pitch to Robinson, low in the dirt, and it's called a strike. Inkster leading off second as shortstop watches him. Here's the 0-1, in there for strike 2. Travers has the 0-2 count in his favor, and here it is. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. This will bring in another run. As Inkster makes the round to throw, the throw to the plate is cut off. Throw to second will advance Robinson, so it's an RBI double. The shortstop, number 4, Jason Devos, number 4. I'll bring up Devos, the shortstop, and out to the mound right now. They're just running out to check something. I didn't quite catch what happened to Travers. Just a quick check. Everything seems okay. So that is the second run for Kincardine today. It's now 5-2 for the Nobleton Cornhuskers. Shortstop Jason Devos at the plate right now. Right-handed hitter will face the lefty Travers. So Dave Robinson traded places at second base with Chris Inkster, and he leads off second. Here's the first pitch, and that is inside. It hits Devos. So a hit batter will put runners on first and second, still with nobody out. The second baseman, number 12, Pat Cright, number 12. Runners on first and second, still with nobody out here in the top half of the second inning, and that will bring up the second baseman, Pat Cright. Traverse looking in for the sign, comes set, and here's the delivery. Inside for ball 1. Jason Greenshields, the catcher, comes through with the sign, and here's the second pitch. Low and inside again, ball 2. Devos leads off first base. Robinson off second. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1. 2-1 the count now on Cright. Runners take their leads again as Cright's back in the batter's box. Travers looks in for the sign. Now he has it. Checks the runner at second, and the delivery. Bunt down the third baseline, perfectly placed. Travers off the mound, fumbles with it, and will not make it in time. So the bases are now loaded. Still no one out, and that will bring it back to the top of the order. The center fielder, number 5, Curtis Cobian, number 5. Curtis Cobian, who led off the game by flying out to shortstop on the first pitch of the game, now has a rather favorable count for him. Bases loaded, nobody out. Travers comes to the set again. First pitch into Cobian, swung on and missed. Count is 0-1. Cobian trying to do some massive damage for that one. Ball just a bit too low for that one. Runners taking their leads again as Travers comes set. Here's the 0-1. Just a little bit high for a ball. Time now, 10:21 here. We are in the top half of the second inning. This today is the second game of day 2 of the Lisle tournament. Low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher for ball 2. Beautiful day here compared to the weather we had here yesterday. For day 1 of the tournament, it was holding off rain all day. Today, here, clear skies as far as the eye can see. Here's the 1-1. Just off the plate for that one. Count is now 2-1 on Cobian. Scobie and McCormick, the corners for Nobleton, are in as here's the pitch. And it's ball 4 to Cobian, so they've walked in a run. It's now 5-3 for Nobleton. The left fielder, number 27, Kurt Inglis. Number 27. That'll bring up Inglis, who had the first hit of the day, just last inning. And now he has the bases loaded and nobody out. First pitch to him from Travers. In there for strike called. Nobleton had a big inning for the first inning. Now they're trying to battle out of this jam. Fouled away. Count is now 0-2. Inglis, the left fielder, batting again from the left side. Lefty on lefty situation right now. Runners take their leads again. And here's the delivery from Travers. Ground ball left side, speared by McCormick to throw home, and they will get the runner for the force out at the plate. So that's the first out, and the bases are still loaded. The designated hitter, number 45, Scott Austin. Number 45. One away now as Scott Austin, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. He doubled home a run, the first run of the game, his first time up. And he's looking to do even more damage now with one out, but the bases are now loaded. Travers checking in for the sign and comes set. First pitch in, ground ball back up the middle, deflected off the mound, and it looks like all runners are safe. So another run scores, it's 5-4, and Travers seems to be okay after deflecting that one with his glove. The right fielder, number 7, John Campbell. Number 7. Travers had to act quickly. That was a one-hopper. He almost took that one off the side of his head, but got that glove up there just in time to deflect the ball. So instead of a single up the middle and 2 runs scored, only 1 run scored on that one. Score now 5-4 for Nobleton. Comes set, and there's the first pitch. That is a drive to deep left center field. Back for it, and that one is gone. Grand slam home run. Grand slam home run for number 7, John Campbell. So just like that, the score went from 5-1, and John Campbell just put the finishing touches on that one with a deep blast to left center off Scott Travers. If you're just joining us here in Lisle, the score is now at the top of the second with 1 out in the inning, 8-5 in favor now of Kincardine. Conference now on the mound for Nobleton. And it appears they are taking Travers out of the game. He will no longer pitch, so they are going to be changing third baseman now as Stephen Scobie, the left-handed third baseman, will now come in to pitch. So we'll see who's coming in to replace him at third base in just a minute, so we'll be right back.
I think this Brian Rodriguez on third.
Welcome back to Lisle, Ontario. Still here in the top half of the second inning. After a massive deluge by the Kincardine Cubs, score is now 8-5 in their favor, and Stephen Scobie, the left-hander, has come in for Nobleton. Pitching now for the Nobleton Cornhuskers, the left-hander number 15, Stephen Scobie, number 15. The first baseman, number 17, Greg Stepaniak, number 17. So still only with 1 out here in the top half of the second inning. Stephen Scobie, the new pitcher, will come set against Stepaniak, and there is the first strike delivery. Count is 0-1. Always good to start when you come into the game as a raw reliever with a strike. Scobie checks in. Now the windup and the 0-1. Curveball just a little bit high. Scobie checking in to the catcher, Greenshields. The windup and the 1-1 pitch is skied to right field. Right fielder under it, camping, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Third baseman, number 8, Chris Inkster, number 8. That'll bring up third baseman Chris Inkster, and we have officially batted around here in Lisle, Ontario. Scobie now with 2 out, winds and comes set, and the pitch, curveball, low in the dirt, swung on and missed for strike 1. It's going to be fun seeing the statistics for this half of the inning when we come set after the third out. Scobie winds and fires. Second curveball falls in there for strike 2. Folks, we haven't even reached the bottom half of the second inning yet, and already our scorekeeper, Nathan Dix, has a lot of work to do. High, ball 1. Just a little under half hour into this game. It's time now 10:29. As Scobie winds for the 1-2 pitch. Curveball fouled away. Inkster battling in there, trying to keep this inning going and tack on some additional run support for their pitcher, Nate Kramer, who, as far as we know, we will see at the bottom half as he's still in the game. Scobie again with the 1-2 pitch. Just off the plate with a fastball. The count is now 2-2. Here's the 2-2 delivery again, and fouled off. That will be out of play. Inkster battling hard, trying to keep the inning going. Greenshields tucked away back there, looking for the sign, and here it is. And the 2-2 delivery from Scobie. Curveball called, strike 3 looking, and that mercifully ends the inning. So we'll be back at the bottom half of the second inning. The score now 8-5 in favor of Kincardine. Stick around. Leading off the bottom half of the second inning, the catcher, number 10, Justin Greenshields, number 10. So we're back for the bottom half of the second inning as Kramer delivers to the catcher, Shields, and that's inside for ball 1. Bottom half of just the second inning, score now is 8-5 in favor of Kincardine. Nobleton, just their second crack at bat of the game as Kramer winds and delivers. Swing and a miss, and that is 1-1. Nate Kramer, the pitcher for Kincardine, still on the mound as he winds and fires into Greenshields, low and away for ball 2. For Kincardine, their first inning was uneventful with the exception of the 1 run they drove in as Kramer with the 1-2 in there for count now being 2-2. 1 run in the top half of the inning for Kincardine in the first, followed immediately by 5 from Nobleton. 2-2 delivery is high for ball 3. Full count now on Greenshields. But the fireworks really got going after Nobleton's 5 spot, where in the top half of the last inning, a 7 spot from Kincardine. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and there goes the first runner of the game, of the inning. The designated hitter, number 24, Eric Jones, number 24. That brings up Eric Jones, the DH. He singled his first time up and reached second base on an error. 1 away now here in the bottom of the second inning. The windup and the delivery from Kramer. Drive out into the gap in left field. Here he comes in, the left fielder, and he will make the catch for the second out of the inning. Second baseman, number 8, Dan Rees, number 8. So a nice play by the left fielder, Leclerc. Brings it to 2 outs in the bottom half of the inning, and Kramer will deliver in to Dan Rees. Strike called on first pitch. Rees was hit by Kramer in his first at-bat, and he came around to score. Here's the 0-1, low in the dirt. check swing there. Reese just managed to hold up.
Hey, let's go, Dang, let's go. Good.
Steve Scobie started the game at third base, and now he is the relief pitcher for Nobleton. He's on deck. The windup and the pitch from Kramer. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Hey, just start shooting, that's all.
1-2 the count now on Dan Reese.
Yeah,
Score still 8-5 in favor of Kincardine. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Just off the plate, fastball called ball 2. And Kramer wanted that one. Back on the mound now, getting the sign, comes set. The windup and the pitch. High, ball 3. Count is now full on second baseman Reese. Kramer from the windup and the 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and they go down 1-2-3 here in the bottom half of the inning. We'll be back for the top of the third. Score still 8-5 for Kincardine. Leading off the top half of the third inning for Kincardine. The catcher, number 2. The catcher, number 20, Dave Robinson. Number 20. We're back in Lisle, Ontario, Game 2 of today's consolation round. Kincardine still leads the score of 8-5. First pitch grounded back to the mound, and Scobie will calmly throw it over to first for the first out. That was Dave Robinson grounding out to the pitcher, Stephen Scobie. The shortstop, number 4, Jason Devos. Number 4. So with one away here already in the top half of the third inning, that'll bring up the shortstop, Jason Devos. Scobie still on the mound now. There's been a few changes to the Nobleton roster as Scobie delivers just off the plate for ball 1. The catcher, Justin Green Shields, is now playing third base. Scobie winds for the 1-0 pitch in there for 1-1. Ryan Fedrigo is behind the plate now. He was center field. Scobie with the 1-1. High curveball outside. 2-1 now. And Eric Jones, formerly the designated hitter, he is now in center field. Here comes the 2-1 from Steve Scobie. High, ball 3. So Nobleton visibly shaken up, at least defensive-wise, by that 7-run second inning from Kincardine. Ball 4. So Scobie walks the second batter of the inning, and that'll bring up Pat Kreit. The second baseman, number 12, Pat Kreit. Number 12. Pat Kreit singled in his first at-bat and scored. First pitch just missed. Count goes to 1-0. Devos now on first base, being held on there by McCormick. Scobie checking in for the sign, comes set. Checks the runner, and here's the pitch. Low for a ball. They had to chase Devos back to first. As we said, Fedrigo now catching. Now feeding Scobie the sign. And the pickoff move from Scobie almost got thrown away, if not for some great glove work over at first. Devos was taking too big of a lead for Scobie's liking.
Play with him, Scobie. Play with him, kid.
There's still one out here in the top of the third, runner on first, as Scobie checks in and comes set. Here is the pitch. Runner takes off. There's a ground ball to the left side. Easy play from the shortstop. Dug out of the dirt. And there goes Devos to third. The throw across the diamond is not in time. So on a very alert play by Devos, he goes from first to third on a ground out. The center fielder, number 5, Curtis Cobian. Number 5. Great bit of base running by Jason Devos, the shortstop. He's now the runner at third base instead of at second. He took the bad hop from first base. There was a play from shortstop to get the ground out of Pat Kreit, and now he is at third. And on the first pitch, Scobie beans Cobian. So now there's runners on first and third with 2 out. The left fielder, number 27, Kurt Inglis, number 27. So Scobie, being the number 1 hitter, Cobian on the first pitch. So now there's runners on the corners with 2 out. That brings up Kurt Inglis for the 3rd time in 3 innings. Reached on the fielder's choice last time up and scored. Scobie's first pitch is just high for ball 1. Still no runs in this top half of the 3rd inning here at Lisle, Ontario. But the score still 8-5 in favor of Kincardine. And they are threatening here with 2 away here in the top half to score again. The 1-0 delivery from Scobie is curveball, strike 2. Strike 1, excuse me. Count is now 1-1. English checking third base for the sign. Back into the box again as Scobie comes from the set. Checks the runner at first, and the 1-1 just inside, missed for ball 2. Jason Devos, the runner at third base, and Curtis Cobian, after the hit by pitch, is the runner at first. Scobie checking Cobian again, and Cobian takes off, swing and a miss, and the throw goes to second base, into center field, past the diving shortstop. So another run will come in for Kincardine as Cobian goes from first to third on the wild throw. So chalk that up as an error to the catcher, and the score is now 9-5 in favor of Kincardine. Scobie now from the wind-up. Curveball, swing and a miss for strike 3. They had to throw it down the first base, and that will end the inning. So only 1 run given up in the top half, and we go to the bottom half. Score now 9-5 for Kincardine. The pitcher, number 15, Steve Scobie. Number 15.
Hey, what's this for? Is it for a like a radio thing or what?
Me.
Just
I'll be posting it.
like just like a little podcast kind of thing? Or
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You did it yesterday too?
No, I didn't make it. Scobie with a fly ball into deep left. Settling under it is the left fielder, and that will be the first out of the bottom of the 3rd.
You didn't do it yesterday?
No. First baseman, number 77, Lance McCormick. Number 77. Lance McCormick will come up to the plate now with 1 away. If you're wondering who that was he started out as the center fielder. That was the now catcher, Ryan Fedrigo, providing sort of off-color commentary there. Kramer still on the mound. First pitch to McCormick was ball 1. Kramer back for the windup, and here's the pitch, high for ball 2. Score now, here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, is Kincardine now leads 9-5. The 2-0 pitch from Kramer is grounded up the middle, speared by the second baseman, over to first for the second out. So 2 quick outs here, which is just what Kramer needs after the first couple of innings. The catcher, number 10, Ryan Fedrigo. Number 10. That will bring up the aforementioned Ryan Fedrigo, who, after the last inning, has moved behind the plate now, so he is now catching for the pitcher Steve Scobie. Nick Kramer for Kincardine, still on the mound, the right-hander. From the windup, and first pitch is in there for strike 1. Kramer again from the full windup, and here's the pitch. High curveball. Count is now even at 1-1. Following this game will be game 3 of the day between the Bolton Brewers and the Angus Black Sox. The 1-1 delivery is fouled away behind home plate, out of play. Still no word yet on the starters for that game. Hopefully we'll have them for you by the end of this one. Bolton Brewers are in here after falling to the Bolton Dodgers by a score of 7-2 in yesterday's game. The 1-2 pitch from Kramer in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Robinson for ball 2. And the Angus Black Sox will face Bolton, courtesy of the Orangeville Giants, who shut them out yesterday in the final game of day 1 by a score of 8-0. Kramer back on the mound again. Getting 2-strike count on Federico. Wind and delivery just off the plate for a ball.
Good eye, Ryan.
Nate again grooming that landing spot out there on the mound. He's had to do that a couple times this game now. Winds and fires again. Inside, and that will be ball 4. So Nobleton gets his first runner of the inning on a walk to the catcher, Federico. The left fielder, number 19, Mike LeClef. Number 19. That'll bring up Mike LeClef, the left fielder now. Kramer with a runner on base now, having to deal from the set position. Checks Rodrigo at first base, comes set, and the first pitch is low for ball 1. Federico on first base. That's his second time on base this game. He hit a double his first time up. For the Clef in his first at-bat, he grounded out to the shortstop. Kramer again from the set, and here's the delivery. Low for ball 2. Nobleton, in their first inning, scored 5 runs on the board to support their initial starting pitcher, Scott Traverse. As Kramer looks in again and deals. In there for a strike. Robinson threatening to throw back to first to hold the runner. But then in the second inning, the floodgates opened, and for Kincardine, that amounted in a 7-run outburst. And then they followed that up with another run in their top of the third inning. Score is now 9-5 as Kramer tosses over to first. No real threat from the runner at first, Rodrigo, but Kramer holding him on just in case with 2 out here in the inning as the delivery goes in, just in there for a strike. But Cleef didn't like that call. Checks in again, comes set. Kramer winds and fires in, swing and a miss, and that is the end of the inning. So we will see you in a couple minutes in the top half of the 4th inning. Score still 9-5 for Kincardine. We're back here in Lisle for the top half of the 4th inning. Score is still 9-5 for Kincardine Cubs over the Nobleton Cornhuskers. Steve Scobie just getting in his warm-up pitches. Just received word from the base zone.
I want to hear the play-by-play. I came up here. I've been told
just right now, just in the booth with us right now is the player coach of the Lisle Astros. That would be Sugar Shane Walker. Shug, how you doing?
I'm good. You?
Fantastic. Congratulations on your big win this today. That gives you a bye into the finals, I understand.
That's right. Yeah. No,
fantastic. Yep. Chris Allery, just in case you're just joining us, pitched a complete game gem to give Lisle the victory today over Creemore. They played in game 1, so now we're about ready to start the 2nd inning, or the 4th inning, as Shug departs. Thanks for stopping in, Shug.
No problem.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning for Kincardine, the designated hitter, number 45, Scott Austin. Number 45. Austin, the designated hitter, will come in. He's 2 for 2 today with a double and a single and 2 at-bats. Scobie delivers high. Scobie again pitching from the full windup, and here's the 0-1. Low in the dirt for ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Fouled away, popped up, right-hand side, just out of the reach of first baseman McCormick, and that will be out of play. Count is now 2-1. And they're calling now for balls in.
Wait, there balls? You need balls.
Yep. And there was a delay there as they tried to get the balls in. They fouled out too many.
Do they leave quarters in here for the kids? Yeah. Hey, did you get your quarter?
Kids over here at Lisle, they've been enjoying this tournament wholeheartedly because every time a kid brings over a foul ball, they get a quarter. So it's nice to see audience participation in events like this. Scobie again, full wind in the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Fielded cleanly by the second baseman. Over to first. Close call. Just beats the throw. Tom Regenbaum, the first base umpire, called him just there. Could have gone either way there, but they have their first runner of the inning. The right fielder, number 7, John Campbell. Number 7. So Campbell now, instead of dealing with no one on base and one out, has no one out and a man on base. Scobie now pitching from the set position. The lefty looks into catcher Fedrigo. Comes to the set, checks Austin at first and delivers. Low outside curveball. Tries to pick off attempt, goes wide of first baseman McCormick into shallow right field. That's going to send Austin all the way to third base, standing up, as the right fielder couldn't get to the ball in time. So on yet another error. Errors in this game have been rampant today, especially on Nobleton's behalf, and there's now a runner on third base in the person of Scott Austin, the DH, with no one out. And Campbell, who in his last at-bat hit a grand slam home run over the left field wall. Pitch just outside from Scobie, count goes to 2-0. Campbell today, of course, 1 for 2. He grounded out in his first at-bat and hit the aforementioned grand slam in his second. Scobie taking his time on the mound. Looks in for the sign, comes set from the full windup. And here's the pitch. High curveball outside the zone. Top half of the fourth inning here in Lisle, in game 2 of the day. And Nobleton in some trouble again as Scobie winds and fires in. And that will be ball 4 to Campbell. So runners on the corner now, and upcoming is Stepniak. First baseman, number 17, Greg Stepaniak. Number 17. Stepaniak on the day, he is 0 for 2. He flew out to right field his last time up. Runners on the corners now, with nobody out here in the top half of the fourth inning as Scobie checks the runner from the set. First pitch to Stepaniak is inside for ball 1. Scott Austin led off the inning with a single. He's now the runner at third base. John Campbell just walked. He is now the runner on first, and they throw over to first again. They almost threw the ball away. And only the defensive excellence of first baseman Lance McCormick saved another run for Kincardine. He had to jump over Campbell that one. And he's got a good foot over Campbell's head, so it's a good thing he didn't come down on him. Scobie checks in for the sign, comes set again. And here's the 1-0. In there for strike 2. Strike called. Count is now 1-1. Stepaniak stepped out of the box right now. Now he's back in, back half of the plate where he's standing. Scobie again from the set. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball. Right through the right side, base hit. That's going to bring in Austin and send Campbell chugging hard to third as the throw is on the ground, not in time. So that will be an RBI single for Stepaniak. Third baseman, number 8, Chris Inkster. Number 8. RBI single for Stepaniak, and he is now in the hit column. Hit and RBI for him on that one. The third baseman, Inkster, is up. He singled and scored last time up. First pitch from Scobie in there on the corner for strike 1. This game to you today, game number 2 of day 2 of the Lisle tournament, being broadcast by myself, Ryan Vanveen of the Lisle Astros, and with me, my broadcast partner and scorer, Nathan Dix. Ball 2 outside. Scobie faced yet again with runners on the corners. Still nobody out here in the top half of the 4th inning. Checks Stepaniak at first, comes set. Curveball floats in there for strike 2. Just turned 11 o'clock. That's 11 a.m. for those of you listening to this broadcast. We're in the top of the 4th. Just missed, called strike 3 there. Count is now even at 2-2. Scobie waited a little while on that one. He thought he had the first out of the inning. Checks in again for the sign from catcher Rodrigo. Comes set. And Scobie steps off the rubber. Checks Campbell over there at third. Inkster back in there, batting from the right side. The delivery, outside curveball, just wrangled by the catcher. Rodrigo had to go far right to get that one and save yet another run for Kincardine. It is now 10-5 for the Kincardine Cubs over the Nobleton Cornhuskers. And it's only the top half of the 4th inning. Scobie comes set. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 4. So the bases are now loaded. And coming up is the catcher, Dave Robinson. The catcher, number 20, Dave Robinson. Number 20. Nobody out here with a run already in, and the bases are loaded as Steve Scobie, the pitcher for Nobleton, will now throw from the full windup again. It's lefty on lefty here as the infield is in. First pitch, hanging curveball, sky to center field. They are calling for it out there, so this will at least... Oh, the center fielder dropped the ball. This is going to be trouble. Trying to get it in, and that will be 2 runs. So Dave Robinson, nope, my mistake. They held the runner at third, so that is only 1 run. Instead of a sac fly, that will be an error charged to the center fielder. The shortstop, number 4, Jason Devos. Number 4. So chalk that one up to an error on the part of Eric Jones, who moved over from DH to center field when the Nobleton changes took place. Seemed to be camped under that one with a pretty good read, but bobbled it at the last minute. And it's curious as to why they didn't score more on that one, but the bases are still loaded. Devos fouls off the first pitch he sees, count is 0-1. Still nobody out here in the top half of the 4th inning. Score now 11-5 in favor of Kincardine. Scobie again checks Rodrigo for the sign, comes set. The windup and the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to the left side, fielded cleanly by the third baseman. High throw to the plate, and they will get the force at home. So that voids the runner and gives Nobleton the first out of the inning. But the bases are still loaded, and upcoming is Kreit, the second baseman. Second baseman, number 12, Pat Kreit. Number 12. Dunlop, the third base coach, just came in, going over the strategy with Kreit. Bases still loaded, now 1 out finally in this half of the inning for Nobleton. No runs scored on the play, the force was to home. But once again, the Cubs are in the driver's seat over the Cornhuskers. Scobie from the windup, and here's the pitch. High outside for ball 1. Scobie again comes to the full wind. Pitch now fouled off. Looked like it caught Kreit on a foot. Yep, he's favoring his right foot. He fouled that pitch off, so now it's 1-1. Crate seems to be okay. Getting a little bit of razzing from his dugout, telling him to walk it off. That's what you say to somebody who just fouled the ball off their foot. Walk it off. Count now 1-1 as Scobie comes delivery, and here's the pitch. Fly ball into left center field. Racing hard in for it is Jones, and he will not make the sliding catch. The ball falls in. This will be at least one run. Throw goes into third, and they will not get the catcher Robinson, so the bases are still loaded with only one out, and it's back to the top of the order. The center fielder, number 5, Curtis Cobian, number 5. So Jones, give him credit, he tried his best on that one, just came in from deep center, slid on his knees, tried to make that play, but there's still the bases loaded here. Scobie's first delivery to Cobian is high, ball 1. Base is still loaded here. In the top half of the 4th inning, score now 12-5 for Kincardine. Cobian fouls that one away. Count is even. Time limit on this, a tournament game. Starting pitch was thrown at just after 9:56 this morning. Looking to end at just around 11:45. But the way this game is going, that's anyone's guess as to when we'll be out of here. Scobie again, the 1-1. Cobian checks his swing. That's called in there for ball 2. This game's been played just a little bit over an hour now worth of gameplay. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Scobie. Through the left side. Diving stop by the shortstop, but they can't get it. The throw is going home. The play is at the plate. There will be no tag, and that's 2 runs across as Cobian skirts into second base. Score is now 14-5 in favor of Kincardine. The left fielder, number 27, Kurt Inglis, number 27. So even more aggressive base running on the part of the Cubs. Scobie still from the windup as he comes into Inglis. Strike called. You give Chris Supa, the Nobleton shortstop, credit on that one. And that pitch goes in there high for a ball. He dove far to his right for that one, knocked it down, but aggressive base running scored the runner from second base on that play. Now there's runners on second and third with only one out. Another pitch from Scobie, high in there, 2-1. And after this batter, Scott Austin, the DH, is on deck, which means they have batted around yet again. High strike. Swinging on that one was Inglis, ball out of the zone. Scobie trying everything and anything to get his team back in the dugout and back up to bat. Scobie again with the wind, and here's the pitch. Drive to right field, racing hard in, and that one will fall in there for a base hit. Inglis digging hard as the throw goes into second, and that will be another 2 runs on a double by Kurt Inglis. The designated hitter, number 45, Scott Austin, number 45. So as we've said, they've once again batted around. That's the second time they've done this in the last 3 innings. And Scott Austin, the DH, now has Inglis at second base after his 2-run double. 14. First pitch swinging, he takes the fly ball shallow right. Fielders are converging. McCormick just gets underneath that one. And that will be the second out of the inning. The right fielder, number 7, John Campbell, number 7. McCormick had to race far back for that one, had to call off the second baseman running over. He just barely got under that one. So that'll be the second out here in the inning. Scobie from the set again. Blocked at the feet of the catcher, and the throw is back to second, and they will hold Inglis. Inglis took too big of a lead there on what was almost a passed ball. but he managed to scamper back in there safely. Scores 14-5 in favor of Kincardine now as Scobie throws an outside curveball wide. Seven runs yet again, having batted around this inning. They did that the same time back in the second inning. Just outside with a fastball. Actually, excuse me, with that one, score is actually 16-5. Ball 4 again, and more bad news for Steve Scobie as he walks yet another batter. And this will bring up Campbell. Nope, Campbell went down to first, so that will bring up Stepaniak. First baseman, number 17, Greg Stepaniak. Number 17.
What's the inning, 5?
No, yeah, top of 5. No, it's top of 4.
Top of 4? 15 what?
16.
16-5.
Scobie delivers first pitch inside high to Stepaniak. Runners at first and second now, here still in the top half of the fourth inning. Scobie checks the runner at second, and here's the pitch. Curveball just outside this time, ball 2. Campbell, who just walked, he's the runner at first. And the pickoff attempt goes wide, just knocked down by the shortstop, Supa. Keep that one in the infield. Inglis, the runner at second, still there after his 2 RBI double, has been driving the Nobleton infield wild. Scobie again with a 2-0 count, high ball 3. Turning out to be a beautiful day here in Lisle, Ontario. Just approaching 11:20 at this point. Scobie looks at the back and comes set. And low in the dirt, ball 4. So once again, the bases are loaded for Kincardine. Third baseman, number 8, Chris Inkster. Number 8. And it looks like that will be the end of the road for Steve Scobie. We'll see who will be going in as his replacement. Nobleton, while we're waiting for the changeover, still has only 5 runs to their credit. And it looks like the first baseman, Lance McCormick, will be taking the mound. So we'll see how this plays out as Scobie hands the ball over. Yep, McCormick will be moving from first base to the mound. So we will be back in a minute after his warm-up is done. We're back here in Lisle, still at the top of the 4th inning.
It's 16-5 right now, and it's the top of the 4th.
McCormick has moved off of first base, and he will take over the mound duties as Steve Scobie, the left-hander, has moved from third to pitcher, and now he's at second base in this game. And that has moved Reese, former second baseman, over to first. So McCormick on the rubber, the right-hander, and he will fire in first pitch high. To the catcher, Dave Robinson. Nope, my mistake. Inkster is still up there. They made the change before the batter ended. Bases still loaded with 2 away. Second pitch goes in high. It's 2-0 on Inkster.
You're still in 4-3.
Yep.
So you scratch at 5.
Here's the 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1. Count is now 2-1 on Chris Inkster. He walked and scored his last time up, which was still in this inning. McCormick looks into Federico and comes set. Pitch is fouled away. Count is even at 2-2. We heard as he was going in, McCormick make the comment that he was going to do everything in his power to just throw strikes. Seems to be doing that pretty well at a 500 clip so far, as he's into his first batter. going from the full motion, comes set, and here's the pitch. High ball 3. So with the bases loaded and 2 out, count is now full. So the runners will be moving on the pitch. Kurt Inglis, the runner at third base, takes his lead. Swinging, has had a high strike, and that one is fouled away. Inkster battling in there. Count still full at 3-2. Kurt Inglis, the runner on third. John Campbell, the runner at second. And Greg Stepaniak, the runner at first. That's following 2 walks and a 2-run double. McCormick again from the full windup. And here is the payoff pitch. Swinging a high drive down the left field line. That one is curving, and just fair ball. And that one is called fair. That one looked to be going foul, but home plate umpire has called it fair. So they've called it a home run. The umpires are now conversing, but the call stands. And that, folks, is the second grand slam of the game for the Kincardine Cubs. And the fireworks go off just down the right field foul line. Not really sure how they're going to call this one, but call stands. That's a grand slam. Looked a little bit like it was curving foul. It looked like it bounced off the... Nope. Call has been reversed. The call has just been reversed, so... After a couple of words with the home plate umpire, they reverse the call. Very rare you see that, especially in this day and age with... Obviously, this isn't Major League Baseball, but with here no instant replay here, the call was reversed. That was indeed a foul ball. Looked like a foul ball from in here, didn't it?
It was a good 5 feet foul.
Yep. Looked like it bounced off the left side of the fence. So Nobleton finally catches a break. So the count's still full now, again with the bases loaded and 2 out. And the payoff pitch again. Ground ball up to shortstop. They're going to try and get one, but not in time. So a run comes in to score on what was supposed to be a grand slam home run, has now turned into an infield single. The catcher, number 20, Dave Robinson, number 20. And this game, folks, has more twists and turns than Chubby Checker in a blender. So McCormick still on the mound, bases again loaded, still with 2 out. Left-hander Dave Robinson at the plate. First pitch in is skied to the infield. First baseman Reese running over, and he has just enough room to make the play. So that will mercifully bring the inning to a close. So McCormick only gives up 1 run, and we will see how this inning is scored. We'll be back to you with the numbers in just a minute. We're back here now, finally, for the bottom half of the 4th inning. Nobleton due up to bat now, the 7-8-9 hitters, starting with Chris Supa, who is now moving over to first base. Kramer still on the mound for Kincardine, just getting in their warm-up throws. Leading off the bottom half of the 4th inning, the first baseman, number 43, Chris Supa, number 43. So Kramer winds and delivers the first pitch of the inning in there for a strike. If you're just joining us, in the bottom half of the 4th, the score is now 17-5 in favor of the Kincardine Cubs over the Nobleton Cornhuskers. Ground ball foul, left base, third base side. Count is now 0-2 on Supa. A little bit of confusion at last half of the last inning. There was almost a second grand slam home run. It looked to have curved foul, but the ump called it fair, but later the decision was reversed. It ended up being an infield 1-run single. Ball 1 in the dirt. Count is now 1-2. So instead of the score being 20-5, it is now only 17-5. Kramer looks in there to Robinson, the catcher. Winds and fires the 1-2 pitch. Check swing. They're seeing if he went around, and the first base ump is saying that he went around on the check swing. So that is called strike 3. So there's the first out of the inning. Tom Regenbaum ringing up Chris Supa. The right fielder, number 6, Rob Greer. number 6. Yo. Just like that much. Like that. Kramer, with his first pitch of the second batter of the inning, is called strike 1. Tom Regenbaum, who is of the Lisle Astros, he's the base umpire for this game, rung up the last hitter. Popped foul and out of play. Supa just couldn't hold the check swing back enough, and it was swinging strike, they've called that one, for the first out of the inning. So Greer now, the batter, as Kramer winds and deals. Swing and a miss in the dirt, and that one will be the second strikeout of the inning. So 2 away on swinging strikes, and that will bring up Justin Green Shields. Third baseman, number 10, Justin Green Shields. Number 10. Justin Green Shields, who started the game at third base, has moved now behind the plate. First delivery from Kramer, swinging strike 1. Shields only had 1 at bat in this game. That was in the second inning. He struck out then as well. Here's the second pitch from Kramer. Low and away, swinging strike 2. 0-2 the count now. Kramer, after that first very shaky inning, has seemed to have settled down in a big way, especially good for his team. The 0-2 pitch, swinging strike 3. He struck out the side. So we now go to the top of the 5th. It is 17-5 in favor of Kincardine.
I've been doing it right, but okay, so I went to here.
Back here in Lisle, Ontario, this is Ryan Vanveen calling from the broadcast booth at Ross Houston Memorial Field for the top of the 5th inning we are going to now of Game 2 of Lisle's 3-day annual tournament. The Kincardine Cubs have a commanding 17-5 lead over the Nobleton Cornhuskers, and Kincardine coming up to bat in their half of the inning. Lance McCormick still on the mound, the right-hander, started the game at first base for Nobleton, and he is still on the mound, back in his second inning of work. The shortstop, number 4, Jason Devos. Number 4. Jason Devos, the shortstop, will lead off the top half of the 5th. And first pitch is skied down the right field line, but that will go into the stands, and that is strike 1. Devos back in there in the box, all set. And the 0-1 pitch, ground ball to the left-hand side. One hop easy play for the shortstop, and dug out at first for the first out of the inning. Second baseman, number 12, Pat Kreit. Number 12. That'll bring up second baseman Pat Kreit. Supa made a nice play to dig that one out of the dirt. McCormick looks into Rodrigo for the sign, winds and fires in. There's a ground ball, third base side. Green Shields with it, fires to first, and that is a nice play for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down. McCormick enjoying his success so far this inning. The center fielder, number 5, Curtis Cobian. Number 5. Oh, shit. Oh, correct. Did we have a pinch hitter? Nope. Mistake. There is a pinch hitter up, number 25. We'll see if we can get the details on him momentarily.
Aren't they supposed to tell us? I probably told the umpire.
Yep, we weren't told here in the broadcast booth, so instead of the center fielder Curtis Cobian, there is number 25, Billy Kelly. Kelly grounds it to short, Scobie with it, fires it over to first, so that is the first 1-2-3 inning that Nobleton has had this game, so they get out of it behind the brilliant pitching of McCormick. So we'll have more on potential substitutions in just a moment, so we'll be back for the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of 5, we're back here in Lisle for the 5th inning. Score is 17-5 for Kincardine over Nobleton. They'll have the top 3 hitters, 1, 2, 3, in their order coming up this inning. Nobleton in a bit of a spot. Under tournament rules, the mercy rule is in effect. The deficit is 12 runs in favor of Kincardine. 17-5, the current score. So if they cannot come up with 3 runs, we go to a mercy rule.
4 runs to get back. We can have another bet. Or 5 runs, actually. It's 8 after 5.
It's 8 after 5?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Center fielder, number 24, Eric Jones. Number 24. Eric Jones leading off the inning for Nobleton. He's 1 for 2 on the day as Kramer delivers. Strike call for first pitch.
Should recorded it in the Herbert the Purdy voice.
Eric is hitting all the balls.
Now we've saved that for the Lisle games. Kramer from the mound. Here's the 0-1. Skied straight back, and that will be out of play. It's 0-2. That voice you just heard was first baseman Dan Reese.
We need 5, eh? It's 8 after.
The 0-2 pitch from Kramer. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and down goes the first batter of the inning. And up to bat comes Dan Reese. First baseman, number 8, Dan Reese. Number 8. Reese is 0 for 1 in the game. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Kramer, as we've said earlier, after that shaky 5-run first inning, really found the zip and control he's needed to keep his team in the game. Just a little bit high on that one. Count goes to 1-1 on Reese. Steve Scobie, who is now the second baseman, he is on deck. The 1-1 delivery from Kramer. Just low, ball 2. Time now, just past 11:30 here. As Kramer looks in for the sign. Winds and fires. Fouled and away, out of play. Count is even now at 2. And they're calling another ball in. Scobie on deck. Lance McCormick, the pitcher who started the game at first base, he is now in the hole. As we've said, with a 12-run deficit, they need run support if they want to play another inning. Low, ball 3, count is full now at 3-2.
Heavy hitter, here we go.
17-5, tournament mercy rules after 8, correction on earlier 10. So they need 3 runs to keep the inning going and 4 to have any hope of coming back. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that is the first 2 batters down in this half of the inning. Second baseman, number 15, Stephen Scobie. Number 15. Kramer winds and fires his first pitch to Scobie, who fouls it off behind the plate. Scobie today, 1 for 3 with an RBI, 1 for 2 rather with an RBI. He flied out to left field his last time up. Kramer with the 0-1. High and inside. Scobie had a duck out of the way of that one, and the count is even at 1 apiece. Hour and 23 minutes into this game. We've still got time left in gameplay, but the way this game is going, this could be over with this batter. Kramer winds and fires in the 1-1. In there for strike 2. Infield at regular depth here. Checks into the catcher Robinson, comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Scobie. Swing and a miss on a curveball in the dirt. They have to throw to first to get him, and that will end the inning. And that indeed will end the game. Final score, Kincardine Cubs 17, Nobleton Cornhuskers 5. We'll be back in just a minute for the post-game analysis. So we're back here one more time for the final analysis of that last game. For the Kincardine Cubs, 17 runs on 13 hits. They left 5 men on base in that game. For the Nobleton Cornhuskers, they scored 5 runs on 3 hits. Left 1 on base. Kincardine only had 2 errors in the game. Nobleton had 3. So rather lopsided victory, as the Kincardine Cubs will now play the winner of the next game, which will be between the Bolton Brewers and the Angus Black Sox. That game start time is at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're just prepping the groundwork now as the teams are changing. So a game that only lasted 5 innings, featured strong offense relatively from both teams, but one side more so for Kincardine. Their 2 big plays of the game were dual innings, the 2nd and 4th inning, 7 runs apiece as they batted around in each of those innings. The massive blow coming off the bat of John Campbell, a grand slam home run in the 2nd inning, and that really was the deficit. After that, everything else was just icing on the cake as far as Kincardine was concerned. So we will see you later on, I suppose, in this tournament. Just to reiterate, the final score between the Kincardine Cubs 17 and the Nobleton Cornhuskers 5. This has been, alongside our statistician Nathan Dix from this tournament anyway, the Lisle Astros. Hey, good game. This was Ryan Vanveen, broadcasting to you live from Lisle, Ontario. Have a good day, folks.